So that's pretty damn fun that, an album like this, recorded when you're a teenager, can have a lasting impact on people. So we feel very special in that regard, absolutely.
An all-new Dark Angel at 9/8 Central Fox Tuesday.
Today we are ranking the albums of Dark Angel, starting with We Have Arrived in 1985.
We have arrived!
The debut full-length from this California band that is one of my favorites of the 80s. That said, apparently reactions to this album were pretty split when it came out, and even today I think that kind of holds true. Kind of a dull opening, just repeating the same riff over and over again for the first minute before things get even remotely interesting. I also find Don's vocals to be a little bit on the corny side with this one. I just realized he sounds like a thrash metal Bob Dylan. Try on hearing that now. We have arrived! The best elements that really stand out to me are Rob Jan's work on the bass and Jack Schwartz's drumming. Personal favorites for me, Merciless Death and Welcome to the Slaughterhouse. Overall, solid listen with some standout moments, but in comparison to their albums to come, it just has a lot of trouble competing, and especially when I was comparing it to like other thrash debuts and maybe even other thrash albums in this year, it would rank relatively low, but for them, I'm still going to put it at great tier. And just a reminder throughout this list, as always, it is just my opinion, so put your own rankings down below, and if you enjoy the video, be sure to hit the like button. Both of those things help me out. But moving on, we have Darkness Descends in 1986.
God damn!
Very happy to share a birth year with this record, and if you ask me, this album shreds just as hard as Slayer and Creator. The title track just rips right into you with insane riffs, Don switching to more harsh vocals, and Gene Hoglan killing it on the drums as always. Same goes for the unhinged qualities of Hunger of the Undead and the Burning of Sodom. If anything, this one only gets more vicious as we move into, again, Merciless Death, the version for this album. Love these soaring leads, breaking up the relentless palm mutes of Death is Certain, Life is Not as well. Just a violent, ripping, tearing beast of a record that's entirely teeth and claws, and I love how the choices in production only further amplify its dark, ugly vibe. This one is going to perfection. They followed that up with Leave Scars in 1989. Once more doubling down on the aggression, but stepping up the production a bit from the last one, and now with Ron Reinhardt stepping in on vocals, sounding no less unhinged, and also new bassist Mike Gonzalez. The Death of Innocence doesn't waste any time, getting straight into the ripping and tearing once more. Same goes for No One Answers and Older Than Time Itself. And even when they slow things down, like on Never to Rise Again, or decide to cover Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song, it is no less heavy. Love that evil hook at the end of The Promise of Agony. The instrumental tracks are great too. It fits the title and the artwork perfectly, I would say. Their most successful album, making Billboard at 159. This one is also going to perfection. Then we got Time Does Not Heal in 1991.
So we start this before it goes completely back. More than now, so I should know. You never can look back.
Now, until now, this was the final full length from this band. And sadly, while I was hoping that this would end things on an equally ripping note, especially given the thematic ties of the album title and cover art to the last one, it seems even the heaviest bands in the genre were not immune to the poisoning quality that the 90s had on thrash metal. Ron is definitely going for a bit more of a semi-yarly but also heavy metal style singing on this album that gets pretty obnoxious when all I want him to do is just scream like he did on the last one. Also way too long at 1 hour and 7 minutes. That said, there are still a lot of great moments, and you can do so much worse with this era. Like, I've done a video on, like, bad thrash metal albums. The 90s is not good. Like, a lot of them tried to go rock, tried to go grunge, and for most of them, The results were very terrible. But yeah, the opening instrumental and the new Priesthood are real headbangers, some sick techie riffs on Act of Contrition, more great Slayer-esque hooks on Psychosexuality. Also enjoyed Trauma and Catharsis and An Ancient Inherited Shame for the same type of reasons. Crazy harmonized solo towards the end of the latter too. Also love the interplay of that start-stop riff with the drumming on Sensory Deprivation. With a better vocal performance, this would be even higher. Again, I'd say kind of within the time frame for thrash, this would probably rank relatively high and on here in terms of like their own output, because all of these rankings are kind of just within their own isolation. I will put it at fantastic. I don't think it's as good as the last two, but if you can get past the vocals, there's a lot to enjoy here. But that brings us to Extinction Level Event in 2025. The band's surprise return after nearly 34 years, with elements of this album being worked on and off over basically that entire course of time. There was even like a canceled record that they were working on after the last one. Guitarist Jim Durkin actually wrote some of the material for this album, but sadly passed away in 2023, making this their first record with Gene Hoglan's wife, Laura Christine, on guitar. Performance-wise, I think everyone is coming in here pretty strong, all things considered. Ron is unfortunately one of the weaker points, and I don't think that he brings it as strong as, say, like Angel Ripper still does. Similar notes for the instrumentation. It doesn't feel as polished or immediately infectious as some of the other legacy acts out right now, still kicking like Sodom or Destruction. But as a counterpoint, it actually carries a bit more of the classic 80s grit and grime that some of those albums are sometimes missing, and there are some really ripping moments on the guitar. Some tracks are quite messy though. I don't care for Apex Predator. Sea of Heads really drags. Scalar Weaponry has some more of the kind of annoying vocals. But the ones that stand out as the best for me are Circular Firing Squad, Atavistic, and Woke Up to Blood. Also dig the drumming on Closer Extraction Tactics. Now I will say, for myself, that there are definitely at least some songs here that I would rather listen to than the debut.
Prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong.
I know, you can hate that take, but if you're here to walk in line with sheep, what the hell are you doing listening to thrash metal to begin with? So not among the best comebacks out there, not one of their best albums either, but still always interesting to hear what the bands of the old school bring to the table in the present day. I'm going to go ahead and put it at good tier. Y'all check out this playlist for more thrash metal rankings, including Slayer, Metallica, Destruction, Sodom, you name it, they're basically on there. I'm still working on finishing the big four because, hey, we're still waiting on that Anthrax album, and also Testament on the way too. Or check out this video for your personal YouTube recommendation, but that'll do it for now. Flight of Icarus signing off. I will see you in the trenches.